Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Bhaktavijaya161. As you may remember, Namdev was very sad when Krishna told him he had to go find his guru. It is like the 11th day among religious observances, or like Rishikeshi among the gods, or as there is no other river that can be compared with the Chandrabhaga. Those who wander to an endless number of sacred bathing places find their pride growing. But when they see the Chandrabhaga, even at a distance, they become prideless. How can I fully describe the greatness of the Chandrabhaga? Such a sacred bathing place, and such a sacred city as Pandari, and such a holy bhakta as Nama, cannot be found in all the three worlds. Though going to meet with his Sadguru, he could not bear separation from God. Then bringing into his heart the Lord of the world, he suddenly arose and went along. Nama came quickly into the temple of Mallikarjuna and looked about him. Here he saw Visoba Ketchar asleep. He had put his shoes on and had placed both his feet upon the Shiva Lingam. When Nama saw this, he was filled with astonishment. How is it that the husband of Rukmini has given me such a Sadguru as this one? He has arrogantly placed his feet on the emblem of Shiva and has fallen into sleep. Coming, as Nama did, to find the Sadguru, the first thing he found in him was a fault. Just as when one takes the first mouthful of food and then finds a fly in it, or as one setting out on a journey to make a fortune should come across a woman carrying an empty jar of water, a bad omen, or as if at the beginning of a book, the first letter should not be written, or as when one comes to look at the sun and finds it in eclipse, or as when one comes to examine the horoscope of a bride and groom and discovers that both of them were born in the same course of the star, or as when looking for the moon on the second of the bright half of the month, the sky is covered with clouds. So in looking for a guru, Nama saw at first his fault. The servant of Vishnu came near and said to Visoba, "You call yourself a saint and a sadhu? But what is that improper thing you are doing? You have placed your feet upon the Shiva Lingam, the husband of Parvati. Now I know what your knowledge of Brahm is worth." Visoba replied to Nama, "I have indeed made a great mistake, so place my feet where Shiva is not. My body is weak and I have no strength to rise. You, a servant of Vishnu, came as a friend to meet me and tell me what is right. Place my feet where the husband of Parvati, Shiva, is not." Nama, hearing what he said, came near to him. Then as Nama himself lifted up Visoba's feet, the whole place seemed to take on the form of a Shiva Lingam. Whichever way he turned his feet, there he seemed to see the emblem. He found no place empty of God whatever, and his mind became perplexed. The bell, the drum, all took the form of Shiva. The men and women who were there to visit God, they all seemed like Shiva, the husband of Parvati. As he looked at his Sadguru's feet, they also seemed to be Shiva. And after some consideration, as he looked at himself, he found that he himself appeared like Shiva. In his love, he looked all about him. The temple and all that belonged to it seemed like Shiva, the Lord of Kailas. Nama was overcome with astonishment and placed his head on the Sadguru's feet. The Sadguru replied to him, "I feel very much troubled, O Bhakta of Vishnu. Quickly, place my feet on the earth." Hearing this, Nama replied, "You're an ocean of knowledge, a cloud of intelligence." Sadguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.